see this tree that's sticking out on top of a little knoll. And there's just a little bench there, right? Like just a little rollover. And then there's another one over here a little bit lower. So it's hard to see, but that right there is the high stand of one of the lateral moraines on this side. So we are standing in till, right? Till is poorly sorted, unconsolidated, subangular gravels, cobbles, pebbles, sand. So this is really cool. And literally, if we go up that road just past the fence line, we're in the Wilbert Formation. And the Wilbert Formation is, the Wilbert Formation is just this little knoll of, Snaky Canyon Formation. Snaky Canyon Formation is this knoll. So the high point of this is not till. We're literally, the fence is right on the till, and then it sort of wraps around over by the tree there. So that's like the high point of the lateral moraine. Snaky Canyon is 325 to 323 million years ago. Okay, known as the Snaky Canyon. So, how old is this? Quaternary. And in this case, this is probably either Pinedale or Bull Lake. So this is probably only 20,000-year-old glacial deposits or 136,000-year-old glacial deposits. We don't really know. It wasn't mapped, right? It's just QG. So, if we're on glacial till, how thick was the glacier?
Thick.
How thick? Give me an estimate. Like from Morrison Lake up to here.
Thick with more than 3 C's.
With 2 C's thick.
No, more than 3.
I'm gonna say like 5.
500 feet? Okay, there's a good guess. Alright, so 500 feet. And we can't quite see it, but the main glacier goes actually along the front, and it's going to go up into Lake Gulch. So the main glacier came out of the farthest cirque that you can't quite see around this mound. What do you guys notice up there? All the jagged rocks are sort of vertical. Is there any sort of glacial formations up in there?
Looks like there might be an arête.
Yeah, there could be a ridge that's coming down. There could be an arête if we can see the other side of it. It looks pretty narrow.
That's a big cirque is what it is.
Big cirque. Yeah, we got a big cirque there and a smaller cirque over here. So those would have been cirque glaciers that have created hanging
Valleys.
Hanging valleys, right? Look how high up you have to go to get into like the base level of that valley, right? You got to hike up this drainage, sort of pop in there. So we got a hanging valley with a cirque, another small cirque over here, which would have brought in another small glacier into the main tributary glacier. And then if I can look across, directly across where the lake is, and then above, you see the big cliffs, the first cliffs that show up? It's about even with us, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think those cliffs had ice scouring them or not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Are they above our eye line? If you look straight across, where would you put your ice?
Oh, I guess so.
Just above it? Below it?
Just below it.
Just below it. Why do you think not like on the cliffs themselves?
Too steep.
Not necessarily too steep. Does it look smooth? Does it look like it's been grounded down by ice and heavy duty
No.
sandpaper, like 80 grit, you know what I mean? Or maybe 8 grit with a glacier? So to verify, what do we have to do to go over there and verify that how high was that trim line?
Pick up a hand sample.
Hand sample. What would a hand sample tell us?
If it was graded or not.
If there's scour marks.
Some scour marks, smoothing, some striations in the bedrock. Yeah, so we're going to keep going across. So we're going to say it looks like the trim line's probably a little bit below those cliffs. In fact, below the left cliff, there's a little bench. You guys see that little bench in there? So the question is, well, how high were the tributary glaciers? Like, the tributary glaciers were coming through that main valley as well. Sorry, the upper valley into this main valley. And then if we keep going across, keep going, and we can see all the way out here where all these trees are down low. There's like a big forested patch. And then just behind that forested patch, there's a rim of light colored grass. About the same height as us. Awesome. Good observation, Luke. Right? This thing pushed all the way out to that high ridge right above like the low forest, okay? And then let's walk all over here so we can look into this valley. Panorama would be great at this time. So come over here far enough that you can see the road that we drove up. Keep your distance, but come over the ridge here. So, looking down at our road, what do you notice about the landforms? Going on the surface. They're kind of rolling, right? Lots of different small scale features of depressions and hummocks. I mean, look where the road goes through there. There's all these little divots, right? It's like this place was just blown up with a whole bunch of holes. But that is all glacial deposits, the glacial debris from when the glacier started retreating. The depressions are pieces of stagnant ice that, melted out later. We can see the little pond down there. Any idea what that's called? Kettle Lake. Heck yeah. How many Kettle Lakes can you see? 3, at least 3. And check out, okay, so I'm going to circle back this way. So look at this area right in here. Look at all the hummocky topography. Kettle and cave. Kettle